Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. My name is Denise Hutchins and I'm broadcasting to you from Studio Mikarts. Our charity of the month is Food Empowerment Project, and you can help me help them help the animals by donating to our fundraiser here on Twitch, visiting their website, which I posted in the chat, or simply by watching my streams and bringing your friends, because I'll be making my own donation at the end of the month based on my unique viewers count. If you enjoy today's stream, please support my creative work by becoming a Twitch subscriber to remove ads and get cute emotes, joining my Patreon to get illustrated postcards and prints in the mail, or sending me some creative fuel through Buy Me a Coffee. Links to all these are in my Twitch About section or in the YouTube description if you're watching the recording. Today is Wednesday, which means it's time for more illustration, so I am back to work on my Onomatopoeia Bees piece. This is part of a larger series that I will eventually get published in one way or another as a lovely bilingual art book teaching animal sounds. So we're working on bees today. We've got all the flowers flat color put down, and we're working on adding the bees color. I had a little bit of extra time before the stream, so I've got all of the different bee layers made up and named in a way that I think will help me remember which bee it's supposed to be. So now all I have to do is rearrange my desktop peripherals so that I can use my tablet. I'm doing that now, and I'm just going to get to work on the next bee in line. We just finished this one yesterday, so we're moving this way. We're just going to keep making a pass back and forth until they're all done. So this one is the, let's see, up, right, out. I believe I don't have any pixels in there yet. Let's pick a new color. I was doing more vivid ones for a while. I have quite a bit of bees, so I have a lot of room for different colors to happen. So, oh, how about a nice lavender? A lavender blue purple color. Alright, we need to get, oh, I turned the layer off because I was testing whether it had pixels in it or not. Alright, so what I've been doing is filling it in and then erasing away. I'm finding that easier. I'll actually go all the way up to 300% for this teeny tiny itty bitty bee. Alright, I can use my new tool, which is, let's see, clear. Yes, but I do want to turn this size back down. I have the brush modes for clear and normal programmed into my tablet remote. So now I just, at the press of a button, can switch basically between erasing and filling in. It's technically not erasing, I think, because there's an eraser tool. So technically I'm not using the eraser tool. I'm still using the brush tool, but I'm just changing the blending mode, which changes whether it's adding or subtracting pixels. But in essence, it's erasing and adding, so don't have to worry too much about semantics here. The point is that I am adding or removing pixels, and it is much faster, but I keep forgetting at the very beginning because I only figured this out last week. So this is only week 2 of using this new tool. This is a beautiful color. So far, I quite like the colors I've chosen. I imagine I'm going to change them by the end. That's what I've done for pretty much all of these animal onomatopoeia pieces. I believe this is number 7 or 8 that I've done. But right now, I'm already feeling good about how they look. I think before I shade, I will try to do finalize colors 1.0, and then when I shade, if it still looks like maybe this isn't working after all, then I'll change it, but for now that will be how I proceed. Yeah, might want to add a little, oops, little fuzzy here, sticking out just with color. And we'll do the same over here, because that's such a big gap. I don't quite think it works. Well, maybe we'll actually make this a little bit smaller. Something like that. Yeah, we can always change this kind of thing later too. That is the beauty of digital art making. You can change it. That is also the, I don't know, Achilles heel. Because you can just change it and change it and change it, never stop, and it's never done. Okay, next one up is B right edge, and I think this one, nope, this one is above the flowers, so we're gonna leave this, oh, I was gonna call it level, but that's not what it is, layer. We're gonna leave this layer where it is because we do want this color to be on top. Whoa, what the heck? No, what? That's weird. Wonder why it opened that. I was trying to click this so I could pick a different color. Oh, here's a pretty color. And this one. Once again, we're gonna make it really, really big brush. Oops, let's change that blending mode. Really, really big brush. Oh, it looks terrible with the green. It's awful. It's okay though. The point right now is getting pixels into the file. We just need them as placeholders right now, and we can change color later. So I'd like to finalize the colors. I think what I'll do in order to help me is work on the background some more, so I can have a better idea of how that will look. Because right now it's just this flat green color, and that's not how it's going to say we're going to add lots of stuff. But it's not. It's helping show an idea of what it'll be like, but it's definitely not showing the variety. So this purple might actually work once I get some other colors mixed in to the background, different textures maybe. First we're going to finish this flat color. Oh, you know what? I did not do, go back and do that real quick. I did not move this effects layer onto this B so that I can check for stray pixels. Let's do that. Oh yeah, look, there's a bunch of them. Oops, let's get on that layer. I don't want these stray pixels. Too many times in the past, they've been an issue later in the illustrating process, my process. Other illustration processes might not matter at all. But for me, the way I do this, it does. So I like to clean them up now, sort of nip it in the bud so that I don't have to change gears when I'm really going on one step in the process, and then I have to break and back up, and then I have to change gears again so that I can get going. It's much better if I can keep momentum going forward. There, that's good. Okay, turn that off for now. Go back to this one. This purple looks terrible with the green, but it actually doesn't look terrible in general. It looks quite nice with when I'm looking over here in the navigator. It looks nice with those colors next to it. Alright, this is fine. Dang, I just realized, because I'm feeling the tip of my stylus feel weird, I forgot again to look for a replacement stylus. stylus nib. I don't need to replace the whole stylus, just this nib. There's something wrong with it. Maybe it just uses a different kind of plastic than the stylus I had for my previous walk home tablet, because that one I had for like 10 years I think, and it never had any issue. This one I've only had 4 years, not even 4 years. We're working on the 4th year now, so 3 years and a handful of months. And yet it's all smushed on one side so that the other side is rather sharp, and I'm really afraid of scratching my screen. So you can replace the nib. You can't really replace the screen. So I know what I'll do. I'm gonna take a second. Oh, squeaky chair. I'm gonna take a second and go into Habitica, which is where I track stuff like this and other things. I'll make a to-do. Buy, replacement, stylus, nib. Exclamation point. There. There, hooray. It's marked in there so that hopefully that will catch my attention next time that I am making studio purchases. And I can get that replaced. So far the nib doesn't seem to be scratching the screen, so that's good. It doesn't seem like something where I better stop right now, better stop the stream, you know. This is not like that, but whoo, fans ramping up on my PC tower. Oh, done. And drag the effects on. When trying to explain what I'm doing on stream here, this feels like a very monotonous process, and maybe to watch it is, I don't know. Because there's not really anything, there's not any big decisions being made, just little ones. And most of it is just sort of mechanical work. Fill this in, move on to the next one, fill it in. But I really enjoy this part. I enjoy coloring this in and getting it all nice and neat. I love making things neat. I love organizing stuff. It's so fun. That's why I love that game so much. A Little to the Left. I've played everything that they have to offer. I've got all the badges. I've played through all the DLC. Oh, you know what? I think I actually unlocked a few even extra bonus levels. I think there's just a tiny bit more for me to do now that I'm thinking about it. But anyway, I love that game. That's all it is just organize, arrange things by color or shape. And it's a puzzle game, so you have to figure out, oh, what is it looking for? And sometimes it's really, really hard to figure out what the organization it's looking for is, what the criteria are. Alright, let's say we got 2 B's done. That's 2 more B's than yesterday, so I think the next one is going to be this one. B right, down, out. So it's on the right side, down relative to the other ones, and it's on the outside. So let's pick a new color. What color do we want? That will work. I'm really not thinking very hard about the colors because they're definitely going to change. Maybe not all of them will change, but I'm not expecting them to stay the same, so there's no point in putting a huge amount of effort at this point. Now this one has to move down below the flowers, this layer. Now we shall just, oops, if I change the blending mode, now we shall just erase away. Right here, I think I'll add some spikes. Or at least one spike. I'll add one spiky spike. This is another color that's like, yikes, when you look at it with the green, but who knows, might end up being real good later when other stuff are added. Other stuff is added. Other things are added, other stuff is added. That's so interesting, because stuff, when you say stuff, it uses the grammatical rules for a singular, but stuff can be a plural. In fact, it usually is. It usually means multiples. My stuff. It's more than one thing, but because it's stuff and not stuffs, it sounds right to use grammatical rules for a singular. So interesting, because you say things are. That's the plural. Stuff is. Oh, look at all these little stray bits. This color is almost the same as the... I think I should change it because it's almost the same. Let's make it an insane color that I will never use. Or at least is very unlikely. I won't say never. You never know. But unlikely that I would use. Or at least something that is better for seeing on this particular bee. So I want to be able to see not only is it coming from the outside, but is it not filled in enough on the inside. So I need to be able to tell if there's now this lighter pink showing up on the inside of the lines, which I don't see any. So that's good. Sweet. Next is this huge bee. So fun. We're finally going to color in one of the big bees. I literally just named it Big. Bee. Big right. That's what I named it. Okay, what color are we going to do? We have to take it all the way down to 66.6%. I feel like this is... Yeah, for some reason it seems the touch is on my screen. It's not supposed to be. Okay. That was weird. Honestly, I hate touch screens. I hate it. For so many reasons, and I won't go into a rant, so I'm not going to explain why, but I hate them, and I don't want this, even though it has the capabilities to do touch things. So as you could see, it kept moving my little icons around. Hopefully it didn't. No, it looks like it did. It's reorganized them. Look, Scrivener's over here. No, this goes over by word. The heck? Oh, man. Okay. That's right. That's right. Okay. Music and stuff. Okay, OBS, scanner. I think this is something to do with this. And then we've got Creative Cloud, Photoshop, Clip Studio Paint, Lazy Nesame with works with those. Okay. Okay. So Scrivener's the only thing that moves. That's crazy. Why? I hate touchscreens. Anyway, let's get another different color. So we can get... Red is my favorite color. We've already got a red. Red is my favorite color. Let's do red. We'll do red. We're going to change it later anyway. Already one of my main character animals in one of these pieces is red. Oh, Wolf said yellow. I did yellow for one in the upper middle. But we can always change it. Oh, look how cool a red bee is. Oh, Wolf is here, by the way. Welcome, Wolf. Thank you for joining me. I'm waving at you at Mikarts, sir. Yay! So glad you could join me. How are you? Hope you're having another great day. Hope everything's going smoothly. Hope life is good. I'm so glad to have your company. It does get hard sometimes to be talking to myself the whole time. So I really appreciate it when you're able to join me. Alright, now time to erase away. Oh, it might be fun with the yellow bee, red bee, and then this one could be orange, and then it'll be a little triangle of warm colors. Right, 17. That seems alright. Ooh, a lot of decisions having to be done here because of the way these lines are. Oh, you've been lurking for a while. Okay. Yay. Thank you. Now I know retroactively that I wasn't just speaking to future viewers on YouTube. I was speaking to a real live person. Yay! Lurking is always welcome, too. I'm not trying to complain or anything. But I do appreciate it when folks stop in the chat, too. I might have to... well, I'll just do a first pass erasing and see what it looks like. I might have to adjust some of these once I'm fully done. It feels difficult to make the decisions of where the color should end versus how the lines look. How to make them match. Like I've got this really great, almost right angle right here. And then this one just goes straight up. What do I do? Something like that? I don't know. I don't know. Should it go at the top of the ink? Well, we can always change it. We can always change it. I do like the idea of it being separated from the flowers, but maybe it would be better if they went on top. But the lines are on top. Later I'll probably have to break up the lines and put them on different layers. I've had to do that before for other pieces in this series. That is way in the future of this piece, though. I'm not even going to worry about that right now. Not even going to waste any energy thinking about it. Right now we just got to get this coloring done. Flat color. That's what we're working on. Oh, it's hard. These little streaky lines. It's hard to decide how to treat them. We'll do that for now. Oh, there's a bunch of them here. I say that as if it's a surprise. I mean, it's sort of a surprise because I haven't worked this closely on this. I haven't looked at it in this way before, but I'm the one who did this. I did this to myself. I'm going to erase away and then I'm going to add some back. There. Add some more there. Let's take a tiny bit. Let's round it. Oh, I don't know. Maybe we'll take it back all the way. Dang. It's so tough. Take it to this point where it's connecting. Okay. I used a completely different brush pen for these big bees, so that's why the lines are so different. But that's good because then it adds variety to the line work. Variety means interesting, means more things to notice. And I hope that I can create art that invites people to look a little longer. So the more stuff I can add to it, the more value there is in folks spending their time looking at it. Okay. I feel like I'm getting the hang of how to deal with these lines. Yeah, it was just unfamiliar. I had not worked on it before, so I had to figure it out, and it's figured. I think it's figured. Here, it's a little tricky. I'm going to erase it all the way down there, but then add some more back, filling in this little space in between where this black line is. There's probably going to be a lot of straight pixels on this one. I've got to get through. I don't even think I'm halfway. I don't think I'm halfway yet around this bee. Erase that. Actually, I'll erase this one too. They don't all have to be filled in. Some of them can be empty. More variety. Oh, black and red is my favorite. This is my favorite bee now. Black and red is my favorite color combination, plus silver. Black, red, and silver. You can't really do silver on digital, though. You can do gray. You can shade it in a way that looks like silver, but as far as flat color goes. It always irked me a little bit because red and black were the colors of our rival high school when I was in high school, and I was like, "Her." Overall, I liked my high school better because it had Japanese classes. That's why I picked to go to that one. Even though all my junior high friends went to the rival school and I had to make friends anew, which kind of sucked because for the first year, my first year in high school, I had like 0 friends. So it was a lonely time, but it was worth it because I was able to do all the Japanese classes. It's just that I think Pokey High's colors were blue. My least favorite color. And they might have been blue and red. But Highland was red and black. Fave. This might have changed by now. I was very happy to learn that my high school recently did away with their very troublesome mascot. I can't remember what they changed it to, but I was like, good, I'm glad somebody finally did something about that, because that bothered me while I was a student there, so It was, let's just say it was a culturally inappropriate mascot, but no one did anything to get it changed. Admittedly, I didn't do anything to get it changed. I just kind of grumbled in my head like, how can this be? How can we be in the new millennium and we're still dealing with this kind of thing? But they have finally changed it. Good job, younger students. I don't remember what the... Oh, right. Highland was the Rams. That was another thing. I was like, oh, they're the Rams and I'm an Aries. All signs point to I should go to Highland. I actually tried to take one class at Highland. They had a program where if there was a class offered at one high school but not any of the others, or not your main high school, you could get a shuttle bus to take that class. This part is really hard right here on the B. Can't decide what to do. But you could take the shuttle bus to take the class, and so I tried that because I wanted to take one of the tech classes that were there. But unfortunately, the way the shuttle bus worked, it didn't get me back to my main high school in time for my next class, so it just didn't work. I'm not sure how it worked for anyone, honestly, if it wasn't going to... But, oh well, it ended up being alright because what was more important to me was those Japanese classes. Working in the corner here. Let's center this a little bit more, make it physically easier on myself. I know it doesn't show on the stream, but my tablet's actually quite big, so it actually is a lot of physical work to do digital art for me. Actually, I'm going to erase this all the way back. Yeah, that's better. Working our way around. I think we're now 50% done. Yeah. We seem well past 50% actually. Telling my high school stories to pass the time. Ooh, how am I going to do with this? Actually, I might just erase all the way down. So I have a little bit of space in between these two spikes. This one though, let's do this. Love these big ones because I get to depict these antennae in more detail. Of course, I simplified them, but I did a lot of work researching and trying to discover how exactly they look, how many segments there are to them. So with these big bees, I was able to use that research. Of course, I don't know if I actually ended up depicting the right amount of segments, but I did notice that it seemed like they were segmented on the front half, but on the back half it seemed more like a solid piece. I wonder if it might be good to make all of these bees sort of pastel colored. Or flower colored. Red is a flower color though. Right now they actually look pretty pastel overall. I don't want to deal with this one. Put it back in this way and erase here. I think that'll do it. Ooh, here comes another one. I'm gonna just erase back like that. We will add back a little bit. Something. I feel like I've got the idea, but it's not quite working. Got the idea. Oh! A little bit more, just a little bit more. Oh, just a tiny little section left. I'm gonna erase this away here. What'll work here is to add another spike with no ink outline. This one is just made up of color only. Okay, having a look at it in its entirety. Yeah, that seems good. So we're going to drag the effects layer onto here and turn it on. Oh, yeah, look at all of those. Look at all of those stray pixels. Big dog Aoife sighing away. She works hard for me in here. My little assistant dog. Well, she's not little. She's a big one. My big assistant dog. Well, you can kind of see a different angle of her back than usual in the puppy cap. She's all curled up for some reason. Oops, I erased something I didn't want to erase. Ooh, let's save real quick. I just did a huge patch of work and I didn't save yet. Now I've saved. I'm going to turn the lines off. Make sure there's no, yeah, there's some dots hidden underneath. Okay, turn it back on. I think it was done. Oh, here's a little bitty spot. Oh, here's another little bitty spot. Tiny little bitty spot. Another one. Okay, now I'm done. Now I'm done with this bee. Save again. Turn the effects off. Okay, we're going to the bee center middle. This is the centermost. It's not perfectly centered, but of all the bees available, this is the most centered bee. Color. Orange? No. I was gonna do orange. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. Let's do orange. I mean, we already had a sort of orangey one, but it was like a pastel orange. Ooh, you know what? The bees that are closer to the viewer should be a more vibrant color. Then it would be sort of like atmospheric perspective. Atmospheric perspective wouldn't actually take place in this small of a distance, you know, just a few feet. But it's a nice visual tool we can use. I won't worry about it too much for now, though. As I said from the beginning, the real point of this is just to get the pixels down onto the different layers into the right shape. But that's a good idea. I hope I remember that later. So the closer the bee is, the more vibrant the color. The farther the bee is, the more muted the color. I think that's a good idea. Doesn't necessarily change what the hue will be, but it can change the shade or tint of it. This orange is one that it's hard to decide whether it goes good or goes bad with this green. It feels like it's competing with the green, but it also doesn't feel like it necessarily looks bad. It's like a pumpkin orange. American pumpkins have green, especially Japanese kabocha pumpkins. They have green skin and orange on the inside. I guess for now this is the Halloween bee. So do it like this. This is tough. No, I'm going to change how I do this because of the way the other one is. I'm going to erase this direction and this direction. Add in this direction. That's better. Yeah, something is off here as well. The way this one's going up, I think I'm going to draw an extra spike. Color only spike. Spike of spiky bee fur. I won't erase that because I'm not erasing this stuff here. Oh, Bigman2K, hello! Waving to you with my cursor! Wow, welcome, long time no see! How are you? I'm so glad you could join me today. I'm going to introduce what I'm working on today. This is another entry in my Animal Onomatopoeia bilingual art book series. This is the bees. And what I'm working on today is adding flat color to everything. We're doing the bees right now. We did the flowers. We finished the flowers yesterday. Well, we finished the basics for the flowers, but I'm going to go back and add even more stuff. So that's what we're working on here right now. I'm using Photoshop and my Wacom tablet. Oh, heck of a time. Oh, I love that positive mindset though. Speed bump that will smooth out eventually. Yeah, you just gotta ride that wave. Nice. I love it. I really do. I love a positive mindset. I hope that I do wish you the speediest passing of whatever it is. The faster it's over, the faster you can get back to what you want to get back to. Whatever that may be. I'm honored that despite what's going on, you had the time to come hang out with me. Hopefully my stream can be a little respite or some positive vibes to help. I was saying earlier that this is a rather monotonous step, though. Depends on your point of view. Monotonous, perhaps, if you're just watching. For me, it's kind of meditative. I really enjoy this stage. It's fairly low stakes. It's mostly just fun. Filling it in, there's some decision making, but nothing is permanent yet. Or nothing is decided, so there's no layers of decisions that make it hard to change stuff. That's a better way to put it. Is that the whole bee? Looks like it. Okay. So now we're going to drag the effects layer onto this one, turn it on, and grab all of these stray pixels. Tighten them up along the lines. The stroke effect reveals where these little pixels are. I don't know if anybody... This is one technique that I 100% claim as my own. I've never seen anyone else do this, but maybe no one else cares as much as me about this level of precision. Stroke effect, I don't know what normally... I don't know what the average person who uses it for. It's decoration, I suppose? Yeah, on text. It looks nice on text. I use it on text for decoration. Alright, B, all clean. All clean, yay. We'll turn that off. Next B. B centered down, so that's this one. The bottommost B in the center. So let's pick another different color. I'm trying not to do green, but how about a little yellow-green? This like yellow-green might be good. I don't want to do green because the background's mostly going to be green. Oops. Change that blending mode so that it's actually putting down. Yeah, this might have to change later, but for now, we'll go with it. This is actually a really nice color. I bet this is what you'd call chartreuse. I'm actually not that great with official color names. I use my kindergarten colors. Red, light red, pink, orange, yellow, orange. Sometimes I'll use some other name, like teal or turquoise. But I'm definitely no, like, Pantone colors aficionado or anything. Even with chartreuse, I'm like, what exactly is it supposed to be? Is it green? Yellow? It seems like it's kind of like in the middle. Of course, ultimately, it doesn't really matter. For my illustrations, it does not matter what the color name is. It just matters what the overall effect is with the different colors combined. This one is so little that erasing away is very fast. Soon we're going to be on the next big bee. Ooh. And it's almost break time. Almost break time. I'm erasing away, and then I'm going to add a spike right here. That's pretty. That's pretty good. Similar in shape to this black line here. So these lines will not stay black. In the end, they're going to be colored as well. Okay. Stroke effect comes up, goes on, and look at them all. Look at all of these stray pixels. Stray and excess. Stray is the pixels that are just floating out in space like this, like those ones. Excess are the ones that are making this line stick out the outside of the black lines. I guess excess would describe the stray ones as well. Maybe I'll use that term as I'm going through my process. I try to explain what I'm doing, what I'm thinking, especially for something like this where it's very simple, but maybe it doesn't seem simple to someone watching, or maybe it seems boring to someone watching. So do my best. I'm gonna add a little spike here too. Around that one. And around this one a little bit more too. Okay. Let's save. Another couple B's done. So left down in, that's this one. The innermost, bottommost B on the left side of the page. What color? We'll just keep cycling through. We got a sort of green color. How about, well, we've got a blue kind of like this already. Make it a little bit more green. There. Ooh, this is really rough on this color. This is probably gonna have to change. It even shows like a weird edge to it because it's, even the Photoshop's having a little bit of a difficulty showing it against the other green. Oh, thank you, Pikmin. They're so cute. Yay, I was hoping that they would be cute. It's really hard. All of these animals that I've done so far have been chibified. Not quite like my Chibi Friday chibis. A little bit different for this series, but they're all chibified, and this is the first time I've done bugs for this series, and it's actually kind of hard because if you look closely, bugs are actually already chibi. They've got huge heads, huge eyes, little bodies in relation to that. So it makes me quite happy to read that compliment, since I'm trying to make them cute. That is a big goal. Make them cute. I learned a big time from a challenge that someone gave me once. They said I couldn't make a, what is it called? It's called a giant Japanese hornet. They said I couldn't make it cute in my chibi style. And I was like, I'll show you. But I applied my usual chibi mythology. Methodically. Methods. My usual chibi methods. to the bug, to the giant Japanese hornet, which is really cool. It's a really cool bug. And indeed, it was not really cute. It was more creepy because it had a huge head for its body, which, with mammals, that makes them look really cute. And even with birds, that's been making them look cute, to make their head bigger. But with the hornet was not the case. So I learned from that. That was great. I'm glad they challenged me. I'm glad I took up the challenge because that helped me when I was deciding how I was going to do these bees. That I can't just use the mammal formula. I have to come up with a different formula for insects. Okay, I think this fellow is done. Let's put the effects on. Always excess pixels. There's always excess pixels. I mentioned before, don't have to make this pink disappear, but the closer it is, or the less of it I see, that means the tighter the pixels are underneath these lines, the black lines. So if I don't see any pink on either side of the black line, that means that the edge of the color, the patch of color, is sitting directly underneath the black line. Not too far to the inside or the outside. That's what I want. Turn that off. Next one, left bottom edge. So we're doing this fella next. We gotta zoom out. It's so big. Zoom out to 100% to fit. Then we'll zoom in for the erasing away. So let's see, a blue, another blue color. I don't have like a true blue. They're more like these aqua colors. Of course, true blue is my least favorite color, so I'm not really motivated to pick one, but let's get some variety in here. Make the brush really big to fill in. Oh, let's change the blending mode to fill it in. And now, let's see, did I get all of the spikies? I guess that's good enough. Now we will reduce the brush size, turn the blending mode to clear, and zoom in for erasing. Yeah, I just had a thought. I'm going to go back to the big B and change something. I was having the red color come all the way out with these lines like this one, or here especially, but I'm liking it better what I did over here and just erase away and not have color under there. So I'm going to change the big red B . Shouldn't take too long though. Just go around the edge looking for that kind of thing. Alright, right here. Here's a great one. Just get rid of that. This is sort of already started doing it in certain areas. This one's alright because there's so many of those lines all grouped together. I'll leave that one. Oh yeah, look, I did it here, sort of. Yes, I think I like this better. Okay, good, that's enough. We'll go back down to the big B. I mean the bottom B. We're done with the big B, we're going on to the bottom B. Here I shall color this in. Oopsie. Forgot to change the blending mode. This blue is hard to see against the green. This little blip right here is a nice guideline for what shape to make that. Yeah. Oh goodness, it's way past break time. I was just having such a great time working on this one. Huh. Let's see, I'll keep working until 40 because then that helps me remember what time I should be back by for the break to be over. Plus, maybe that's enough time for me to finish this. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Let's add this back in like this. Something like this. It's hard. It's hard to choose. I'll do that. It's interesting to think about how much thought I put into each little area between each bee hair and ultimately it's not going to be a very big part of the piece. It's definitely going to add to the final piece. It's worth it to me to make these decisions with care, but it won't be noticeable in the end. It'll just all come together. Just tad bit more, tad bit more. So let's see, we've got this upswing right here. So I'm gonna erase it into another spike. And let that one come down like that. Actually, maybe I'll do this one coming up this way. Okay. Let me drag the effects layer on so that when I come back I'll remember what I'm doing very easily. And haha, 14:40 on my clock. So it is time to take a break. I highly encourage everyone else to take this opportunity to stretch and refresh. I'm going to put my be right back sign on and I'll be back in about 5 minutes. everyone, I'm back. I hope you had a great break. I am all fueled up and refreshed. Had my usual yummy Soylent bar for my quick snack. And now I am ready to get back to working on the bee. And there's only a few bees left in this whole illustration, so we should be able to get the flat color done for all of them today. Maybe I can even start working on those little additions that I want to put on the flowers here, where these little, I don't know what these tubes are coming up. I want to add more of those. No, I liked that. I didn't want to get rid of that. But first, let's work on the bees. Let's do this in order. If I move around the scene too much doing this and that, it becomes really easy to forget something that's a little bit more important than these little small things that I go around touching up. So one step at a time. Try to keep it organized. So I like organization, not just physically, but processually. What's the word for that? Processly? Processally. There's got to be a word for that. Maybe not process, maybe a different word. Logistically? But I think logistics can include physical things. Anyway, we're moving on to the final big bee. Whee! Oh, I was thinking of making it orange, but I ended up making this one orange. So let's just keep moving. Moving up. Make it purple. Make it the purple color. That's really close to what we already have, though. It's hard, actually, choosing a bunch of different colors. I'm definitely going to have to change some of these colors. Make it a richer purple, darker purple. Alright, it doesn't really matter. Gotta keep reminding myself. It doesn't matter. We're not really choosing for the colors right now. We're choosing just so they look different, but we're going to edit the colors later to be more harmonious while still being a rainbow of bees. All that matters right now is getting the pixels into the file, onto the layer, so that that is defined. We can change that color as much as we want later. Okay, here we go, just like the red one. Erase around this whole big bee. This is suggestive of another spiky fur spike, so I'll keep that. And we'll do it like that here. Once again, these biggest bees have the most decisions to be made about how exactly the color fits in with the lines. creaky chair. I always mention it because I don't want there to be confusion about what the heck was that sound for y'all on the other end. I still haven't tried to figure out where else I could WD-40 it to get the squeak to go away. So I'm just like, whatever. I'll just try not to move too much, and if it creaks anyway, so be it. It's just how it is. It's just a creaky, squeaky chair. Actually, I'm going to bring this all the way down and make this one big spike right here. Yeah, that's nice. Although I don't like how that ends like that. Maybe I'll bring that part back. You heard that big sigh? That was my big dog, Aoife. She's still working hard in here for everyone. Looking cute on camera. Aoife's my big dog in the upper right. You can actually see her head right now. She's leaning away. You can see her head. Usually you can just see her back. Or maybe her feet. Chappie is the little dog. Oh, you can't see Chappie's face. She's facing away. Yep, they're my little assistants in here. They always do great work. Yeah, I like that. And we can erase that part too. Yeah. So I'll leave a spike here. Feels like it'll be a little too empty if I don't have something. I like this purple and green actually. It's very Halloween-y. Halloweeny. We're nowhere near Halloween right now, but That's what it reminds me of. Whew, a lot of unfinished stuff right here. I'm sort of seeing a spike. Yeah, a spike right here. Using color alone. I think we might be at the halfway point now. Halfway done. Wow, that was a nice easy section since all of the lines were actually connected. Erase a little bit more than I want to do. There. Bring that back. I want that back in there. We'll just erase all the way down, I think. Ah, no, we're going to add more back in. Actually, add more than there was before. Right here. Gotta figure it out. What do I want to do? I think I'll erase down here, but then I'll bring it back up here. No, let's erase all of it. I'll keep that one, but I'll keep the... Oh, my undo redo is not working. Oh, there it goes. I do like taking it from that one, but I'll leave it on that other one. So many decisions and no right answers, just different. Just different options. Different effects. It's nice when I can use the little tails on the ends of these lines that were made with a brush pen to guide the edge of these blocks of color. Don't always have that. Sometimes it just ends in a square and then just gotta pick something. But when it's got that little curving tail, you can just use that and follow that line. It makes it a little bit easier. Almost done. Just a little tiny section. Yay! Ooh. That was a big effort. My hand is starting to get a little bit sore. Okay, let's take one look at it zoomed out. So this looks like it'd be better actually filled in. I'm just gonna, for little areas like that where it's like, oh yeah, maybe actually fill it in with color, or actually let's take away. Well, those are the only two that stood out to me in that way. So now we're gonna drag the effects layer, turn it on. Ooh, we look at all of this. I'm gonna go in here and clean it up. It's nice when I can mostly just follow the outline. I don't have to look very hard for stray pixels in the middle that, I guess, stray empty spaces that weren't filled in, because I used that huge brush at the beginning and erased away, so there's no empty spots anywhere. This one actually seems like it would be better if I color that in a little bit. It's tough with these really super thin areas. The pink looks so good with the purple. Oh, Just Freebird is here. Raider, party of 8. Hello, everyone. Wow. Thank you so much for the raid. How are you? And to everybody who is raiding, welcome to Studio Mikarts. My name is Denise Mika Hutchins, and right now we're working on my Onomatopoeia bees illustration. I'm working on coloring, and I'm almost done coloring the bees today. We're also currently fundraising for food empowerment projects, so if you can, please donate to our fundraiser. And if you enjoy my stream, please consider supporting me through Twitch, Patreon, or buy me a coffee. So, Just Freebird says we did a vegan cooking stream. What? That's so awesome! What the heck? What did you make? Oh, good thing I just had a snack. Otherwise, this would be a really tough conversation for me. I saw that you were streaming. That's so exciting. What did you make? I follow another streamer called Vegan Kung Fu, and he does cooking streams too, vegan cooking streams. I'm so excited to hear about what you were making. I love cooking. It's one of my hobbies. Love it. In fact, my idea is to include recipes. I'm working on a fantasy novel it's going to be an illustrated fantasy novel. I've been working on it since I think 2019. And in the past year or two, I came up with the idea, I mentioned these foods in the manuscript, which I'm working on the second draft now. I'm like, why not have an appendix with recipes, official recipes? Tofu schnitzel. Mushroom gravy and cucumber salad. You made a whole freaking 3-course meal. Well, I guess the gravy isn't a course, so it's a 2-course meal. Dang. How was it? Was it delicious? You made fries too. Okay, you did make a 3-course meal. What the heck? That's so cool. Did you? Okay, 1, was it delicious? I bet it was. 2, did you use some recipes that you found somewhere, or where you're sort of winging it and just making it with your existing knowledge. I love using cookbooks. That's usually how I cook. I love trying people's recipes. There's just a few things where I'm like, nope, nobody can improve on my, for instance, mashed potatoes. But for anything else, I'm like, yeah, which of these billions of vegan brownie recipes do I want to try this time? Oh, it was so good. Awesome. Found recipes for this one. Yeah. I'm always even confused. I'm like, what is schnitzel exactly? Anyway, I think it's a fried thing. I've eaten it, and I still am like, I don't really know what it is. But doesn't it sound good, even if you don't know what it is? That's just an appetizing word. Why? I don't know. It's a... The word itself tastes good. Schnitzel. So, how did you stream it? Did you have cameras set up over in your kitchen, or was it more like you got one of those hot plates or one of those conduction hot plates and cooked it on a desk or something? I'm interested in the logistics. I don't know if you took pictures or anything, but if you'd like to share pictures... Oh, hold on. You know what? I did not shout out you, and then people can go see your... What is it called? Hold on. I gotta shout out to you. I have to move my tablet so that I can get my keyboard. And then that way people can go watch your replay. What the heck is it called? Okay, shout out. It's called, on Twitch, it's called your video on demand. I feel like there's a different word. Anyway, they could go watch it. Let me make sure I spelled your name right. Yeah. Shout out. Boom. Everybody. Go watch. Go follow. Go discover how amazing vegan schnitzel is. Kitchen setup. Ah, yeah, I've imagined what it might be like. So, unless you had a professional team helping you, I can't imagine that it wouldn't require some troubleshooting. Just because everybody's kitchen is different, the layout's different, the equipment works in certain ways and fits in different areas, and maybe it doesn't fit where the camera is this time. You normally use it over here or whatever. Okay, I think I cleaned up these edges. Yay! Okay, good. Turn off that stroke effect. So that means we only have 2 more beads left to do. And then left, out, middle, down. This one has a big description, so it's on the left side of the image. It's on the outermost. It's in the middle as far as from top to bottom, but it's the bottom one of these because that could describe both of these bees. Okay. Zooming in. Oh yeah, I don't remember if I said. I had so many ideas flying through my head, but just Freebird, if you have some photos you'd like to share, I could put them up on screen. Let's see. I have so many colors to choose from, and yet it feels like I've used all the colors. I've got a lot of pastel ones over here, but I don't know. Okay, right. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter right now. These colors are probably going to change later. Let's just get a color down. That's what really matters. Get a color. Get the pixels on the layer. That's all that matters. Whee! I'm going to call in. Yes. So we'll change the blending mode to clear and start erasing. What time is it? Oh, we've got only about 10 minutes left in the stream. So I think we might be able to get all the bees done exactly in this stream and not have to work on, let's see, how can I explain this? It feels like finishing a step. Finishing a step instead of picking up tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be able to start on a new step. Are these bees for a certain project or just a new piece? This is for my animal onomatopoeia art book. I am... It's hard to explain. Sorry. I should be able to say this better. I've been making this art book. It started as my... Hold on. I think I need to bring this all the way around here. Okay. It started as my graduation project, my final project, capstone project, that's the word, capstone project for my illustration degree. But I wanted it to be something that I could continue. I didn't want it to be school work. So, and I have continued it. Eventually what I want it to be is an art book full of illustrations like this, and it's teaching the animal onomatopoeia in Japanese and English, all in the same book. So far I have cats, dogs, mice, owls, crows, frogs, cows, and I think that might be it. Maybe I'm forgetting someone. But now we're adding the bees. And I have a list of at least 5 more animals, and there are even more animals after that that I want to include too. And eventually I will have it published either through traditional publishing or self-publishing, Kickstarter, whatever it takes. So it's a really big project. And I've been changing around different aspects of Studio Mikarts to give me more time, because these pieces are the most involved pieces I've ever made in all of my art making. It's very, very complicated, lots and lots of steps, lots and lots of layers. And so I've been working on this one for 2 months, I think. I'm on round of work number 18. But it's always worth it by the end. I really love this project. That's why I want to focus on it. I've been realizing in the past few weeks, or maybe even a couple months, that I've been jumping around from project to project to project, and I'm never really finishing a project because I'm jumping around so much. So for my writing hours each day, I'm just focusing on my illustrated fantasy novel. And for my illustration hours each day, it's this, except for Chibi Friday. Chibi Friday is still... Chibi is meant to be fun. Chibi Friday is different. As always, a huge, long answer to a simple question. That's just how I roll, I guess. I can't give simple answers. I have so much information floating around in my brain at all times. So, just Freebird, are you going to be doing more cooking streams? Was that an experiment or something you're thinking of leaning towards with your streaming? Or was it more like, this is just another thing that we might do and have a huge repertoire of options? Now I'm looking around the outside of this bee to make sure that there's nothing that stands out needing some adjustment. I guess here, the way the head is curving, we should have more pink here. Okay, we're going to drag the effects layer and turn it on. Oh, but the color is once again very close to what we're actually working in, so let's make it a something that will stand out better. Okay, I'm going to zoom in even more clean up the edges. Oops. I don't want to add, I want to subtract. Yep, look at those little patches sticking out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, no, I don't want to erase that. I like that part. Here it looks like we need to add. This mint green with this fuchsia color feels very 80s to me. The green isn't going to be part of the piece. It's just an indicator, but it doesn't look bad together. Okay, one more bee and we've got 4 minutes. The left out middle up bee. Okay, final color. Maybe this one I'll make green because it's not going to be over the green background. It's on top of this flower. Oops, change that blending mode. It's great that this final bee is so tiny because there's a very good chance we get it done. And I think I'm going to add a little bump. Add a little bump there. There we go. We bring in the effects layer up. Oh, now it's green, so I gotta change it. Change it again. Actually, I'm gonna make this brush even smaller because it's such a teeny tiny little bee. Wow. Yay. And perfect timing. Let's zoom out and take a look at the work we did today. We finished up filling in all the bees with color. These are not going to be the final colors. These are just placeholders. Some of them will probably stay the same, but other ones will almost definitely change now that I'm looking at it, because I want a rainbow, but I want it to be harmonious, so we're going to change the colors later. For now, it was just about getting pixels on the screen, into the layer, into the file. We actually have 4 viewers today, so I think we can raid. So we're going to take the raid party who just came. Oh, thank you, Just Freebird. And we're going to go raid again. So everybody get your raiding gear on. Let's see who's streaming. Oh, and Bjorn and Cookie, thank you for following. Let's see. I'm going to look and see who's available. I guess if no one's available, we will just go ahead and end the stream. Oh, Margot Simone Art. She's the only one who I'm following she's the person I end up rating the most, because she's always on when I'm done streaming. /raid. Margot. Make sure I spell this one. And I think I'm saying it wrong too. I always say Simone, but I think it's... No, maybe it's Simone. Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Alright. I think I spelled that correctly. I'm gonna hit enter, and then I'll do my farewell stream and blurb and let the raid just count down. So that is it for today's live stream. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, for following, rating, and everything else that you do to support Studio Mikarts. If you're new to my channel and want to see more, please follow Studio Mikarts here on Twitch to get notified next time I go live. You can also support me by becoming a Twitch subscriber to get ad-free viewing and cute emotes, joining my Patreon for lovely illustrated goodies in the mail, or sending some creative fuel through Buy Me a Coffee. All the links are in my Twitch About section and in the YouTube description if you're watching the recording. I will be back tomorrow with more work on this illustration piece, so I hope to see you then. But either way, let me wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you for watching.